Hi there dreamers, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, hi! Thank you for spending some time here. I hope you consider subscribing if you are interested in Hoyas and houseplants. That is what this channel is generally about. I do branch out from time to time, but such is life. Today, I thought I would bring you a begonia update. I mentioned this as a possibility in one of my recent videos, and a couple of you said you would be interested. I've had several of them in my care for some time now, aside from the one you guys most recently saw in my October collective plant haul. Most of these have been in my care for a few months now, so I feel like it's a good time to do an update, and we'll kind of hop around from the overachievers to the underdogs and everybody in between. If you are interested in this video and you are interested in begonias, leave me a like down below. That helps me out a lot, and thank you in advance if you do. If you have a favorite from this video, let me know in that comment section. I love hearing from you. The first begonia I want to update you guys on, actually, let me consult my camera roll quickly because I don't think I even remember the name of this one. I've seen a couple of different names for this plant. I saw that this was labeled Begonia Zumba, like the dancing exercise class. The most similar begonia I had seen labeled was Begonia Jive, but I do believe that the mature shape of the leaves is a little bit different, even though the markings are the same. So I really enjoy this plant. I have not repotted it. I truly wait for the entire soil to dry out. It will get a little bit droopy. I do bottom water this begonia. I find with Rex begonias, at least with this Rex begonia, that has been kind of the thing that's been helping me keep this one happy. I wait as long as possible to water it, and when I do water it, I am not getting the leaves wet. This begonia and most of my begonias sit several feet pulled back from a west-facing window. There is a tree in front of that window, so they're not getting completely unobstructed sun. They seem to be very happy with this level of light. It's been consistently growing and reproducing and getting bushier and hasn't dried up and shriveled up a lot of leaves. The Rex begonia that I am not holding up for you because it is no longer with us is my Begonia Rex Firework. That was the most beautiful begonia, and I should have known better than to fuss with it because it was happy. I got two of them. They were happy how they were, and then I insisted on potting them together. And I think maybe begonias are some of those plants that just don't necessarily thrive once you've fiddled with their roots. Other plants that fit this description would be like ficus. It usually negatively affects the plant. In my experience and my research on how to repot ficus, they're ones that just don't want to be messed with. Their roots do better undisturbed. I'm guessing from how that begonia reacted that it too does not appreciate its roots being messed with. So I learned from that one. Begonia Rex Firework, rest in peace, it is no longer here. Another begonia that I repotted and is doing much better is this Begonia Maculata Wightii or Wightii. This is gorgeous. I love the backs. It's very dramatic. Again, is sitting several feet pulled back from a west-facing window, and it thrives there. I repotted this into this 3-inch pot from Dollar Tree. It came in the Costa Farms 5.5, 6-inch pot like normal, but I knew when I took it out of that yucky soil that doesn't dry out quick enough, the root system was really tiny, and I didn't feel confident putting it back in that same size pot. Despite my repotting, seems to be doing a lot better. So the roots on the cane begonia, in my experience, it seems are more resilient. This one did just fine with repotting and fiddling with a lot of the soil, and the Rex begonia, I tried to be as gentle as possible, and it still didn't do very well. This has really thrived for me. It's put off a lot of new growth. You can see it is just consistently doing that. It is kind of melting some of the corners of the leaves. I imagine that's just because my household humidity is slightly lower than it would prefer. If you've seen my Hoya humidity video, if not, I will link it over here for you to watch it after this one, but I kind of talked about that, in my opinion, the ideal humidity range is right around that like 50 to 55%, both as a human and for plants in my experience. But because we've been a little less than that, you can see some crisping. It could also be mineral deposits from water. I do not use filtered water like I used to when I had to. For the most part, I don't think that it takes away really from the plant. The plant is still spectacular. It is just imperfect like the rest of us. This gorgeous plant you guys would have just seen in my October collective plant haul, but I wanted to show you some of the new growth that's developing on it. I will show you some better footage, obviously, but this plant is doing really well. It's pretty happy. I have been keeping it in this room over on that side, so it's kind of pulled away from the grow lights, but it still gets some, and it seems very happy. I am very pleased with this begonia. A lot of these growth points were already forming when I shipped it, so some of these leaves are damaged. You can see this one has a rip in it. I'm excited for you guys to see some fresh leaves on it. I'm excited to see some fresh leaves on it that are not damaged, so very soon. Can't get over the texture of this leaf. It's beautiful. Here is my struggling cane begonia, and I say struggling lightly because it could be doing far worse. This begonia is not the happiest, and that is my fault entirely. It is really dark even in low light conditions. I knew it was getting too little light because it's just putting off these tiny little leaves. I have this on the same watering regimen as my cane begonias that are doing well, which is I wait until it's completely dry and water it really well. This one just doesn't seem to be doing as well as the rest, even though it's getting the same care and generally the same light. I'm not going to be able to continue to hold this up because this is a very heavy cover pot, but I just wanted you to be able to see how cute it is. I think it looks really nice in this color pot. Anyway, this has been pruned back and is still like this. I am trying to propagate this begonia right now. This is a cane begonia. I can't remember. I should have labeled it. It was not labeled when I found it. It was like this full wall of begonia leaves, but I could tell just because like the bottom 6 to 8 inches of these canes do not have leaves. So I knew once the next level of leaves dropped, it would look like a little tree of a begonia. There wouldn't be any foliage at the base. That's why I took some cuttings to propagate, so I'm hopeful that they will take. Even on the vines that I chopped to propagate, they were still actively growing. Those are all the begonias in my care. Let me know which one was your favorite in that comment section down below. Do you own any of these begonias? Let me know what your experience has been like. I want to say I've officially killed 3 Rex begonias now, but I'm also keeping 1 Rex begonia really, really happy, so that makes me somewhat reassured, I suppose. Anyway, I look forward to hearing from you in that comment section down below. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you have not already, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.